Hello everybody, welcome. So today I'm going to go through all of the different setting screens and all that on the Tesla style unit. I'm currently running the Sergey's custom firmware. Some of the menus will be a little different, but their locations will all be the same. And I'll try to notate where I know some things are different. So the way you get there is go to your settings. Alright, so let's just start on this. Equalizer. If you have the DSP turned on in one of your settings, which we'll get to in a minute, you'll have this. Currently, as of this filming, the only thing that works is the presets. The user, where you can set what you want, does nothing. I believe Sergey is working on that. But this is also a stock firmware issue, so I just leave it on rock. But as you can see, you still have your fader. That should work. Just leave it in the middle there. Loudness, all that kind of stuff. Your GPS, blur all that out. Date and time. Language. You'll see this screen every time that you do a reboot. I don't know why, but you do. Navigation, I have mine set to Sigic. Dimmer. System is where the stuff starts getting fun. Sergey has actually moved some of the stuff that's buried deeper in some of the settings into this main setting screen. But we'll go ahead and start with this. I'm not going to read them all off, but you can pause it or whatever and look. But we're going to go, I'll go up a screen and you can see what each thing is, not necessarily what it does. Most of them are self-explanatory in this. If you have a fast boot unit, this is very important. I'll leave mine on 24 hours because I don't want to slow boot like ever. And I drive this vehicle daily, so one thing to note is this show speedometer and tachometer. I have no show, but as you saw on my theme, probably from the last video, some of the themes do not respect these settings. Some of them will show the gyrometer and the compass and altitude. Some show the tachometer and speedometer. And even one, even though I had classic selected, was showing the modern music player, which, you know, it's fine. One of the main things that Sergey moved here was the UI theme, because that was buried so deep. It's crazy. You'd have to go like 5 clicks deep. And he also added the assigned online player app, which you can select from your choice of players. I have mine on Google Play Music, even though I've never really used that. If I ever get data for it, that's probably what I'll use. Alright, so that is the normal system settings. Each thing you change, you'll need to do save and reboot. We'll go to wheel settings. Not a whole lot here. I don't think that you can actually change anything. Because I don't even think we have a mute button on our steering wheel. But that's there. System info. Nope, system info. Go back full screen. Alright, so this gives you your information on your system. I mean, self-explanatory. The trick here is to press and hold, and then you get that. And I believe this one is 666888. Okay? Nope, that's not that one. This one is 7890. Sorry. There we go. And we can get into this. This is where you'll set your Tundra high, Tundra low, depending on if you have dual climate control or just the regular like SR5 or something. We're not going to go into a whole lot of these, but you can choose the, let's see, what is it? Tundra high. And then you can change like American version. Make sure you have your BNR with AC, otherwise you won't have AC. Some things you can fix by switching to a Chinese version. You can change your logo settings, that kind of stuff. But we're going to back out of that. And the main thing we're concerned about here is system. This is different settings. Some of these are duplicated into the system app. Some of them are not. So here is where you could actually change the theme. This was where you changed it before. Crazy. You had to do that every single time you wanted to change theme. But you could imagine if I did that on this last video, that would have taken forever. So here's all the things. Oh, cool. Okay, that looks like it duplicates the UI theme. Okay, so we're fine. Most of these you don't want to change really, unless you're having problems with the Bluetooth or the hands-free microphone. You'll need to change the elimination parameter. I think it's already right, and you will want to turn echo elimination on. Do not change any of the things that it says do not change. You will be sorry. Most of the time it will require a mouse and or keyboard plugged up to your head unit to fix. And these are still general, universal units. They still have some things for Ford, something for Chevys, Dodges, Toyotas, whatever. But a lot of these, I don't know what they do, and I'm not messing with them because it works. But here's all your different volumes and gains. They do actually, they can go up some. Somebody on the Tesla unit Facebook group found that if you changed the music volume gain to 31 or 35 or something, that it actually got louder. Well, yes, it does. And then you have to save and reboot to change any of these settings. But we're just going to go back. There's system info, reset, no. Advanced. To do anything in advanced, you have to have a code. Mine is 666888. Okay. You can also set car type here. That's also in the stock firmware, but everybody says change it in the system info long press one, and it actually works better. A lot of these are for different vehicles, but still usable on some things. I have the seat heaters, so I had to turn that on. Audio fader, that is a big one. If you have very low volume on your radio and you can't figure out why, change that to off and you will instantly get louder volume out of your radio. I mean, before, when I had it on, I could turn it all the way up, and I mean, yes, it was loud, but I could still hear myself talk, so no, it's not that loud. Now, about 15, maybe 20 is about as high as I can go. Without it starting to get distorted. And I have dual air, so I had to cut that on. And again, you have to save and reboot to save a lot of these. Radio region. I am in North America. Touch key. I think that's for the steering wheel. And you can change your boot logo. Oh, sorry, boot logo. And that's all of that. The other thing is you can go into your Android settings here. So the big thing that people complain about is the background. Sometimes it'll go pink or purple or something. You have to go into display, wallpaper, and I just chose live wallpaper, and I have bubbles set on mine. I have not seen the purple pink wallpaper since then, but just know that is where you go. To connect to Wi-Fi, you do have to go into the Wi-Fi settings. If you want to control any of the apps installed, that kind of stuff. This is typical Android settings. Nothing really special here. Even though that says 801, it is not. It is 711. So, that's that. Alright, so the last settings we will go into is actually the console. This, for some odd reason, mine will only read liters to 100 kilometers. But it shows miles. I don't get that. I've tried changing all the settings I can. It will not change. Fuel history, same thing, liters for 100 kilometers. Car settings. Okay, now mine has not been able to change since I did update 7, and has not done anything since I updated to Sergey's firmware either. But there is I think it's under the amp info. But that's those settings. This is like the stock head unit where you can set your headlamp sensitivity and all that stuff. Sound for lock unlock, stuff like that. Automatic door lock unlock. I think there's a like when you shift from park, it locks. TPMS info is not going to work on the stock unit. I mean the stock TPMS stuff. You do have to have an aftermarket thing that like screws onto your valve stems. I don't care about all that. It'll tell me when I have a tire low. Amp info. So this is what I couldn't never change. What I'm more concerned about is where's the curve volume? There it is. I can't change that. I cannot change curve volume. Let's see, I tap it and nothing happens. See if I can go up one. See if that makes a difference. Nope. Don't want music playing because I don't want a copyright strike. But that's that. That's all those settings. So hopefully this helped someone know where all the settings are. There's a bunch of them in a bunch of different places. Some of them are duplicated, but it's what we got, and it's what we'll deal with for now. If you like this video, give me a big old thumbs up, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will catch you all on the next one.